What is up, guys? LXSXL here, bringing you Gun Craze, the Battle Bears forum podcast source for weapon stats, strategies, and loadouts. Today, we'll be talking about the Electric Honey, an unlockable primary weapon for the Heavy class. The Electric Honey is one of the original 3 primaries for the Heavy class, and stands out as a nice middle-of-the-road weapon for starting players and veterans alike. The Electric Honey has a level 2 cap, costs 10,000 joules, does 5.5 points of damage per second, has a rate of fire of 0.10 per second, has 50 ammo, and reloads in 5.5 seconds. The Electric Honey is affected by ammo and damage equipment, with Ammo 1 adding 5 ammo, Ammo 2 adding 10 ammo, Damage 1 adding 0.25 damage, and Damage 2 adding 0.50 damage. On to strategies. The Electric Honey is one of the middle-of-the-road primaries for the Heavy, primarily due to the fact that while it is a minigun style weapon, it has a very small wind up and wind down delay, but these are so small to the fact that it is barely noticeable. It is also fairly accurate, having a dispersion angle of 0.05, meaning you can use this as a medium to long range tool at most efficiencies. That said, the low ammo count and fast rate of fire can quickly deplete the weapon if you're not careful. However, due to the fact that it does have a fast rate of fire, it increases the DPS of the weapon and allows you to compensate for the low damage that it can do initially. Along with the fact that it has a moderate reload, which allows it to be a far more versatile choice than the primary, the BB gun. Because of the fact of the small dispersion angle of the shots, the Electric Honey serves as a nice weapon for heavies to snipe across the map if they're being targeted by enemy snipers or other enemies that have exceptionally good aim and long-range weapons, such as the lightning gun for the B-1000. However, keep in mind that the weapon does have a dispersion rate, so not all your shots will hit if you fire from long range. With that said, at medium to close range, it is a devastating weapon, though it's not the best weapon that the Heavy can take out of all his available options. However, it is the only weapon, or one of the only few weapons that the Heavy has, that has no real downsides in terms of its versatility, other than the obvious. This makes it a very good weapon for heavy players who don't want too many downsides in terms of their weapon choices. Now on to loadouts. The Electric Honey as a primary pairs well with a lot of the other heavy secondaries, but it should be noted that some secondaries work better with the Electric Honey than others. Ivy League makes a good secondary, but can be easily out-trumped by the Plasma Orb, if you have it. Buzzkill is a decent option if you want to add a little bit of an explosive secondary to your arsenal, but it doesn't pair well with the Electric Honey in terms of continued DPS. Sucker Punch makes a great secondary, provided you can aim and land your shots effectively. Out of all the heavy secondaries, it pairs especially well with Mother of Nature, seen as the Mother of Nature's damage per second style of its projectiles, or damage over time, whichever term you want to use, allows you to do much more substantial DPS than with any of the other stuff combined. However, it leaves you at a disadvantage in close combat, which can be easily fixed by the Ivy League or Plasma Orb, or your melee, whichever one you want to choose. As for melee, there is no real variation in terms of survivability in terms of Electric Honey and your melee. However, it will be noted that some melees are better for heavies than others. If you expect to get in close, then the Bloodspurt and Huggable Gloves will be your best bet, with Huggable Gloves adding a 10% speed increase and Bloodspurt adding a 10% health increase. Of course, this is completely up to you as the player. Effective specials to run with the Electric Honey include Propaganda, Flawless Disguise, Sixth Sense Goggles, Caffeine Injection, Turkish Boots, Slow-Mo Field, Tesla Shield, and Healing 10. Effective equipment sets to run with the Electric Honey include Damage and Ammo, Damage and Armor, Damage and Speed, Ammo and Armor, Ammo and Speed, and Melee and Damage. Hope you've learned something, and I hope you consider adding the Electric Honey to your arsenal. Now say it with me. I am Heavy Weapons Guy, and this is my new weapon.